All right, welcome to another two card review. We have two interesting cards. One I use a lot, and the other one I use sometimes, not like a ton, but it does make sense in certain places to use the card. I want to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into those cards, do me a huge favor, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, all that stuff really helps out. All right, let's go check out these cards. All right, the first one we have are Power Gloves. This is a one cost upgrade in leadership. This is still in the Ant-Man deck, in case I didn't mention that. Attached to Avenger ally, max 1 per ally. After attached ally attacks or thwarts, deal 1 damage to an enemy. At first, I didn't really understand why anyone would want this card. And it's more if you do like a kind of Voltron build, right, on an ally. But for me, the bigger thing is thwarting with the ally and then dealing a damage. Right, and the reason that this is kind of important is because there are a lot of enemies that have retaliate or just like a tough status on them, right? You're just trying to get the tough status off a little bit easier. So it's nice to have that Avenger ally to thwart, and then you can deal 1 damage, right? Ping off that tough or hit that enemy and not get hit with retaliate because it's not an attack, right? You're just dealing damage, so it gets around the retaliate. So I like it for that combo because we're seeing more and more tough statuses. We're seeing more and more retaliates, which is good for the where the game is at. Like I appreciate it. But it's making me look back at older cards and builds and stuff like this to say, hey, Power Gloves does have a place. Is it a high priority card? Probably not, right? It's not one that is going to be at the top of the list, but it's one that I start taking, an extra glance or two at for sure, especially when doing Avenger decks. I may only throw 1 or 2 of them in there, but if you can put them on 2 different cards, because it's not a unique thing or anything like that, it's only max 1 per ally. So if you have several allies, you can do a couple of them. And for the cost, it's not bad, right? For the cost, it's not bad. So personally, I like using this unless I'm making a push at the end where I want to attack and then also deal another additional damage. But I'm doing this again as a way to kind of ping off toughs in different places or get around retaliate. So I don't love the card, but I'm slowly finding, I guess, a spot for it is probably the best way to put it. Now, Reinforced Suit is a 1 cost upgrade attached to an ally, max 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +2 hit points. I love this card. I use it all the time for Voltron builds. There are very few Voltron builds. And when I say Voltron, because I know there's people out there that don't know what that means, it's just building out an ally to make them super strong, right? That's essentially what I'm doing. Like trying to make them more powerful than my hero, honestly. So obviously I don't want them to die easily. So them having more life is huge, right? It's absolutely massive. So I'm a big fan of this card because a lot of these allies, it adds 50% to 100% more life on those allies, which is a massive amount, especially if you have heal up cards or like first aid or something like that, where you can then heal your ally. It's a great combo, right? It works really, really well. So Reinforced Suit, if I'm running a Voltron build, is 100% in all the decks. It's very rarely not. So I truly love this card. So let me know your thoughts about these cards. Do you use Reinforced Suit a lot for Voltron or maybe something else? And has Power Gloves at all made kind of like a comeback in how you do things, or is it just you've shelved it, or maybe you never shelved it and you always used it? Either way, let me know. I'm interested in kind of your builds with this card. Really quick, go down below. There's a link to the Discord channel. We're growing. I think we're about 400 people, which is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun there. You can ask rules questions. We talk about not only Marvel Champions but other games as well, including Marvel Legendary, which we're getting more into, which has been really fun. So go check out that link and go over to twitch.tv/D20 Woodworking. Make sure to hit the follow button, turn on notifications. The live streaming section, I think, is just better on that side of things. There's more interaction we can do just because it's inherently built in versus YouTube. It's not really built in. So anyway, appreciate you all watching these videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next time.